Have you ever heard the saying that says, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are? That is actually a very true statement in most cases, right? The people you spend the most time with are usually people that you get along with, people that you share things in common with, people that have a lot of similarities as yourself, right? And that's why you spend so much time with them. But here's a question. Is your friend group and your friend circle a direct reflection of who you are and what your amount to be? Let's find out. Hey guys, welcome back to the Anchor Show. My name is Andrew, and today I'm going to be taking a look at your friends group. I'm going to be exposing your circle and mine. Before we get right into it, this is my moment to remind you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you are a subscriber, thank you for your support. I do appreciate you. So let's get right into it. Now, when I was growing up, this is a saying that I used to hear a lot. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. And as I grew to understand the term and the meaning behind it, it is true. Now, if you're a good guy, right? A good guy, and you stay on the straight line, let's just put it that way, right? And you have some friends or some acquaintances or some guys that they're not really considered good guys. They're doing things they shouldn't be doing, right? They're doing illegal things they shouldn't be doing. If you're spending time with these guys, despite the fact that you may have known them for a long time, grew up with them, whatever the case might be, if you're spending time hanging out with these guys, you will 100% be judged to be the same as they are. And there's a slim chance or possibility that some of the things that they do, you like that, or you gravitate towards it for a reason, right? So it really is a profound statement and a very factual one, right? Think about this for a second. Take a look at your current friend group, the people that are the most closest to you, the ones that you have close and direct access to them, right? How many of these people are millionaires? Go ahead, count. How many of these people are millionaires, right? How many of these people are dead broke, like really poor? How many of them are on the same level as you are, right? Take a moment and examine that question, right? A lot of times there's another one that's a similar statement that basically means the same thing. Birds of a feather flock together, right? You don't see these rich men, you don't see these guys like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Donald Trump. You don't see these guys hanging out with poor people. You don't see them hanging out in poor circles. Every single person within their group, within their circle, are multimillionaires, super wealthy, privileged people. There's a reason for that. I came across a video recently. It was a guy, and he was saying that he doesn't let his children hang out with poor kids because he blamed the poorness of the children on their parents, but also blame the poorness on the parents' mindset and their mentality. And he's like, I don't want my kids around that sort of mindset and mentality so that it doesn't rub off on my children. That was his explanation as to why he doesn't allow his children to hang out around so-called poor kids. Now, most people would watch that video and be like, turn your nose up. But I get it. I understand where he's coming from, though. Now, is he going to be right in every single situation? Absolutely not. But he does have a point. He does have a point, right? So your friends group and your circle should be a positive reflection of either who you are or what you aspire to be. How do you get into those groups? That's a different situation, because if people that are at a certain level aren't looking for friends that are below them, so to speak, right? Then it could be difficult getting into those groups. But you're going to have to figure that out. You're going to have to figure out how to get into those groups. And the thing about it is too, that you have to remember, once you start to elevate your life and level up your life, you automatically level up your circle. Once you're leveling up your life, you are leveling up your circle. Because as you level up in life, you're going to be going into different spaces that you weren't able to go into previously. But now, because you're leveling up, you have access to these different spaces. And by being in these different spaces, you are going to be rubbing shoulders with different caliber of people, people of different socioeconomic status. And by doing so, that's how you can eventually become friends with some of these people. Because at the end of the day, people are still going to be humans. It doesn't matter what, yes, you might be rich and really wealthy and comfortable and all that, but at the end of the day, you're still a human being. You still do human things, you still go play sport, right? You still like to shoot hoops, or you play tennis, or whatever you do. You play soccer, whatever it is, right? And in doing so, you get to interact with people, and through interactions, eventually you make friendships, right? But your circle should really be a reflection of either what you currently are or what it is that you aspire to be, but not anything lower than that. Because here's another thing. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're just an average person. You're an average guy living an average lifestyle, right? And you have average friends. Now, what do you do normally when you have friends, especially friends you consider to be good friends? If you have an idea, and this is a brilliant idea, or at least you think it is a brilliant idea, you're going to run and go tell your friends. You're going to say, hey bro, man, I'm trying to, I'm doing this thing, or I'm thinking about doing this thing, and, so and so and so. Well, if these friends are not on the same wavelength as you are, or they're not vibing on the same frequency that you're vibing, guess what? They're going to discourage you. They're going to discourage you. They're going to tell you why. Why would you do that? That's not good for you, or whatever. They're going to discourage you because it's your vision, it's your dream, not theirs. Now, let's use that same example with friends from a circle that is above your current level. You go to them and say, hey, yeah, I was thinking about doing this thing, I really think it's a great idea. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I do think it's a great idea as well. Maybe you should talk to so-and-so, because so-and-so, used to does the same thing, and they can give you a couple pointers and lead you in the right direction. That's how that works. I remember when I decided that I was going to join the military many moons ago, and I remember I had a group of friends, and I told them, and I remember one particular guy, good guy, right? And he was like, why would you do that? Right? He couldn't comprehend and why I would join the military. He's like, why would you do that? Like, he was baffled. And I simply told him, this is something that I feel like I need to do, something that I really want to do. And I think I explained more to him why. But the reason why I wanted to do that was it was a higher calling for me. It was something I wanted to be a part of, something that was greater than myself. And it was calling me. The military was calling me. And that's why I joined. And I did my time, got out honorably, and it is still one of the best decisions I've ever made. And when I got out, was also one of the best decisions I've ever made, right? But that's the example I'm trying to show you, right? I'm not saying that if you're an average guy and your friends are nothing but a bunch of rich people and you pitch an idea to them that you think is a great idea, I'm not saying that they're just going to be like, oh yeah, that is so great. No, maybe not necessarily so. Right? Maybe your idea sucks, and they're probably going to be honest and say, yeah, bro, this sucks. But the chances of that particular group of friends being more encouraging and push you and drive you forward is much more likely than if you're an average guy with average friends, right? They can't see the vision, or they refuse to see the vision. And sometimes this is the tough piece right here. Sometimes your goal, your vision, your ambition, your dreams would make you a really powerful person. It would elevate your life to the highest level possible, and they know that. And they're not particularly happy for you leveling up and leaving them behind. But of course, they'll never say that. They'll never say that out loud. They'll never whisper that out loud and say, yeah, because sometimes they're not even consciously thinking that. It's within them, but they're not, even if they don't necessarily voice that. So you must be selective with the friends you have. You must be selective. The other thing about it too is it's not just about socioeconomic status, it's also mindset. I think the mindset portion of it is far more important than anything else, right? Because somebody can be poor in terms of socioeconomic status, but have a really great mindset. And they're good to be around because of how they think, right? And the same can be said. Somebody could be rich and have a lot of money, but their mindset is just negative, and they're not fun to be around. So it's all about the mindset. The other thing is, you should never be afraid to shed some people from your circle as well. We outgrow people. People outgrow us, right? And that's okay. You might be friends with somebody for decades, and they just all of a sudden feel like they don't want to be friends with you no more, right? Because maybe you're not leveling up as they would want you to be, or maybe your mindset just isn't positive. It's not what they want to be around, you know? It's not what they want to be around. Your mindset's too negative, or, you know, maybe what you have to offer as a friend, as a person, it's not what they're looking for. So they outgrow you, or you outgrow them for the same reasons, right? And that should be fine. You should be fine with letting go of some people. Some people are literally dead weight. They're baggage. Drop that baggage off, right? Move on up with your life. Your friends should be able to be of benefit to you and you to them. It's a two-way street, right? Vice versa. So you should be able to be benefit to them, and they should be able to be benefit to you. Not people who drag you down and bring you down. So if you're a part of a friends group that is negative, or that just doesn't have a positive mindset, they're not supportive of you and the things that you do, you can't rely on them whenever you're in need, then maybe you want to start taking a really hard look at that relationship. Are they really friends? Or are they just there by default because you went to school together, you grew up together, your parents know their parents, so on and so forth, and just by default you just kind of hang out with them? Maybe you need to take a look at your circle. Maybe you really do need to take a good look at your circle, right? And if you happen to be a part of a friend group that is above your current socioeconomic status, I would like to hear from you. Like, what are some of the benefits that you've gained from being in a good, positive friend group, a good, positive circle of friends? And what are some negative things that happens based upon the group of friends that you're around? I would love to hear it. So please feel free to share it down below in the comment section, guys. I would love to hear that. Examine your friend group and see if this is something that needs to be changed, or see if this is something that you're comfortable with, right? And take the necessary action. Don't just sit there. You know, you own no one nothing. No one owes you anything, right? If you feel like you need to improve that group, that circle, then hey, go right ahead, do so. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you and your well-being. All right? So I hope you got some value from this one, guys. I hope that I did get you to think a little bit. I hope that I did get you to expose and examine your friends group and your circle. And if so, good for you. All right. So until the next video, guys, let us continue to grow, evolve, and transform into the best version of ourselves. Peace.